Hello and welcome back to North Blenheim, New York for Heiser Media's coverage of the 2025 KiIl Disc Golf Championship presented by Disc Golf Journey and Disc Cap. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Emily Dale. How's it going, Emily?
What's going on? Excited to see the MPO coverage out here in the beautiful hills of New York. We have a strong leader here so far with Lucas, but not too far behind him is Wyatt, so I feel like we're going to see some really tight races, and a lot can happen out here as we saw previously on FPO coverage. If you didn't watch it, you should go check it out, because you should, because I said so.
Because you should, I agree. Taking a look at the rest of the leaderboard, it is a fairly spread out top 10 actually. The wet conditions and rain from yesterday kind of separated our leaderboard, so we'll see how these players are able to respond in some slightly drier conditions today.
Hole 1 is going to be a par 4, 692 feet. We're playing from the long tees for the MPO. We have the OB road over there on the left-hand side, and we do have OB in the middle of the fairway.
Lucas Oberholtzer, Hess.
Lucas Oberholtzer, Hess, leading the way in this tournament. Got himself to 15 under par after 2 rounds. A bit breezy on this afternoon. As you can tell, that wind is definitely going to come into play as on these open holes, the players are going to want to be upping the stability of their shots. Pretty much everybody is just going to be playing a nice simple layout to short of the OB off their tee shots hole.
Yeah, for many of these players, it's going to be a pretty simple birdie, ideally, if you're laying up just short of that OB and getting up to the green. We see Wyatt here as a lefty. Always love to have the variety.
Yeah, Wyatt Mahoney is, I think he's 15 years old. That might be he might be 14. The kid is still young and an absolute stone cold killer. Has been balling out, has played a couple pro tours this year. Really impressive stuff. KiIl Moriarty, aka Wads, coming down from Massachusetts. Finds himself here as well. And we got Andrew Cochran rounding it out. Should be an exciting little crew we've got here.
Good luck.
Almost making minis out there.
Nice, very efficient, playing some cart golf.
Can we talk about that fedora too? That is I don't even know if that's the correct term for that headwear, but that is 10 out of 10.
It's giving Ryan from High School Musical vibes, No, too obscure of a reference. Okay.
No, I love it. I love it.
Little overturn there from KiIl. It's going to put him on the right side of the green. Probably not interested in running that putt. The screen can get a little tricky with the slope. The basket is pretty much right on the edge of that hill. So if you put yourself on the high side of the green, it can be a little scary of a putt, kind of like where Lucas is going to be here, looking back downhill at a bit of a death putt.
Yeah, these players are all in good position. It's not an easy shot, of course, to get over there and land safe. Thankfully, that one did check up just outside of the circle, but not an easy shot. It looks more straightforward than it actually is.
Yeah, it's just hard to stick it, Like if you go with the righty backhand, they have a tendency, like Cochran's did, to fade down the hill.
Or do that.
But yeah, if you can do that counterclockwise spin and really drive it into the hill like Wyatt did, it's a lot easier to get that distance control dialed in. So well executed there from the kid, looking to take a stroke on his card mates early.
Looks like KiIl was playing for some ground play there and did not get his desired skip. As you mentioned, scary putts, even for Lucas, just laying it up there.
Yeah, not worth running that 60-footer. Mm-hmm. Cochran, though, probably got to give this one a bid just outside Sir. Oh, no. Maybe just a layup, or maybe a tailwind dropped it. Hard to say.
Good birdie there from Wyatt to start off his round, get him within 2 strokes of the leader.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Wyatt's putt holds up. He has a very firm, very spinny putt, and with these baskets, not having the most amount of change, you do sometimes see some spit outs off the pole. So that'll be something to keep in mind if that affects his putting confidence at all today.
Hole 2 is a shorter hole. It's a par 3, 271 feet. The road that's there on the left-hand side is OB. Shouldn't come into play too much. You just have those really grabby trees there at the end of the fairway around the basket.
Yeah, a lot of thick, I assume they're pines. I am not a botanist by any means, so don't quote me on that, but come into play a lot on this course.
Thick.
Thick boys. If you find yourself inside or behind one of them, it can be quite difficult to have yourself a putt from even short distances. Lucas going with the flex forehand line. That one gets a little skinny at the end, but works its way through.
It's like Andrew got caught up in some of those branches, dropped him a little bit short.
Yeah, this flex forehand is definitely the preferred line. There's plenty of space to the left if you get your disc turning left to right, but that one's a bit undercommitted as well. So going to see some scrambles here. Shouldn't be too difficult of an up and down for Cochran and Moriarty. It's weird seeing Kyle's full name. I'm just so used to calling him Wads, which is what the most of the folks up there call him, that I'm like, who is this guy? Like, I've never seen that name before.
Imposter.
Yeah, exactly. And man, this is a weird little lie over here. Can't really even see the basket.
Oh, giving it a little bit of a run though, but I think where KiIl was is a good reflection of a lot of the rough that you're going to see out here at this course. It's dense and it's really unforgiving.
Yeah, not something you want to find too much if you can help it. Although it is inevitable sometimes if you get yourself into some trouble. Good birdie for Lucas. Gets his round started in the right direction. And early, we're kind of seeing Lucas and Wyatt start to separate themselves from the card and the rest of the field, kind of shaping out to potentially be a two-man race here to the finish. But we'll see. Plenty of opportunities for stroke swings on this course. So
especially with these swirling winds and ever-changing weather as we head over into hole 3, par 3. It's a 284-foot shot. Once again, the biggest thing, you can choose the right or the left-hand side. You just want to get around these big groupings of pines. And like I said,
right
the
on
ever-changing weather.
As it begins to rain, literally as we say it. Oh, and with that rain comes a unfortunate break for Lucas. Kind of a weird counter skip there that causes him to find the out of bounds.
Yeah, I think this shapes really well for a lefty, having that lane much more open. And now that it's raining, I mean, that makes it even more challenging to kind of hold on to the disc and get the proper release on forehand.
Yeah, I mean, either way works fine. It's just, got to get the width right. Not saw it off too much, not pull it too wide. It's easy mistake to make on a hole like this with the basket being blind behind those pines. So this one looks like it has some good height, but not quite enough go.
And that's going to be tough to get around. Those thick trees.
Some thick boys. We can't even see him. Disappeared.
Oh,
there he is.
Spotted.
There's those neon pants.
This is what Lucas is left with to save par. Oh, gave a good height.
Yeah, not a bad effort, just a bit right. So Wyatt, with a connection here, can really make things interesting, but just a bit left.
Good putt to save par there.
So tap and bogey for Lucas, going to drop him back to 15 under par for the event, making his lead 2. And nice tap in birdie there for Cochran, able to only one to go down that backhand side on the right, and the only birdie on the card. So maybe something to be said about it.
Little leaderboard check-in. It looks like our chase cards are getting a little spicy back there with some hotter rounds to start with. Hole 4 is going to be a par 4, 493 feet. Players are going to go more of a roundabout way around this area, I guess. I don't even know what that is. Water retention and tall grass. The shape of the hole is kind of like a big hook. All the tall grasses will be, and it is a huck to get over the way the drone flew. So they're going to be most likely just going around and playing for either a 3 or 4.
Yeah, especially with the swirling winds that are coming in the rain right now. I think most players are just fine to play off to that right-hand side and play for the birdie. It is a par 4, so no need to try to cut the corner.
I mean, we have some distance on the card, of course. I don't think 493 feet is out of the question, but like you said, in conditions like this, much more challenging. And of note, anybody not landing inbounds on their drive is going to bump up to the FPO tee pad, which is the green tee.
Yeah, this one's looking a little... Okay, I thought it might be overturned from Lucas, but that one finds the fairway. Thanks to the spotters.
The right-hand side is the safer side there. So it's pretty much the left-hand side of the fairways will be wrapping all the way around. So if you're going to error, you definitely want to go more right.
Yep, just as nice stock. Backhand for Wyatt there off the tee. Plenty of space over there for the lefty hyzer to land. And this should leave the players with a somewhat blind approach into the green, depending on where their first shot ended up. But some sort of right to left moving shot will do the job.
And I cut you off, but yes, thank you to the spotters. You make the world go round.
And keep pace of play where it should be.
That's
But
right.
yes, the first thing. Yes, mostly the first thing. A couple of nice approaches so far. Everyone landing inbounds areas. I mean, the out of bounds does surround the backside of that green, so you can get into trouble if your distance control isn't dialed in. But these players are, by the third round of this, know this course well and have dialed in these up shots. So everyone putting for birdie. Wyatt up first, knocks that one down from just inside the circle.
I mean, seeing this weather, it's almost comical that every other shot, it's something different. Would you rather play in consistently rainy weather or windy, or would you like it to be all over the place like this?
Yeah, exactly right. You take the umbrella out for one hole, put the umbrella away for one hole, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I can understand how this might be a little mentally, I would say mentally draining is the word I would use to describe a round like this. Hard to keep focus and not let the ever-changing conditions get to you. Wow, it's just a bit low. That's a tough one to miss. Still looking for his first birdie of the day. Been there, buddy.
Little tap and birdie there from Lucas. As we head into hole number 5, it is a par 3, 309 feet, perched up nicely on top of this hill that is just ever so perfect for rollaways.
Yeah, pretty terrifying, depending on the putt that you get. Kind of similar to hole 1, you might see some players, if they're in that 30 to 40 foot range, decide to lay it up, especially with the gusty winds we're seeing. Probably not worth running something, hitting the cage, or airballing, and finding yourself 50 feet away on the other side. So,
yeah, and the wind up there is going to be super swirly just because of where it is on the course, kind of in that valley. So it's risky to expose the disc that you would
Yeah,
need to get up there.
don't want to do any disc exposing here. Wyatt going a bit long, gonna roll himself back down the opposite side of the hill, so that'll be a tough lie and a decision for him to make on that putt. Yeah, so nobody really parked on top. Everybody kind of left with a decision in that 40-foot range. Wyatt up first, going to decide to lay it up. What do you got? Over under 1.5 runs. Oh, we're already on the under. We're already on the under. There's just no decisions made for any of these guys. They're just opting for the layup, it seems.
I don't know. Andrew's thinking about it. He's definitely giving it a run here.
Oh, nice.
Very nice bird.
Yeah, a little uphill. Plays the wind correctly.
And Lucas is much closer than I thought there, so he better run on it. Not.
Yeah, I hope he runs this 14-footer. Yeah. just his disc hiding right on the other side of that crest of the hill. So able to tap that one in. That's a nice birdie. Not a bad result on the card for this hole. This is one that can get out of hand quickly if you're not disciplined. So two birdies and 2 pars is not too shabby.
Hole 6. So we are teeing off all the way back here. There is a lot of OB surrounding the green here. So we have on each side of the fairway OB. We're playing around these huge trees that can gobble discs straight up. Any tee that is OB from the drive, again, similar to the earlier holes, you just proceed to the green tee pad.
Yeah, so just a big tee shot for these players from the top of the hill where that previous hole's basket was. If you're looking to put yourself in the middle, that kind of will open up the approach into the green. If you're caught behind one of those 2 trees on either side, it can kind of make things difficult with a tough lie. So placement is important off this tee shot.
Ooh. Stayed safe there for Lucas.
Yeah, that one leaked a little left for him. We'll see what kind of lie he has from there.
So it's looking wide. And unfortunately did not fight back in bounds, so he'll progress up to the drop zone.
Yeah, tough break for Wyatt. This is a more difficult shot for the lefty, just with that slight bit of slope that you see on the fairway. Can't really trust that what kind of ground play you're going to get. This one is also leaking left. It finds the OB as well.
So from here, it's really just a straight shot up the gut.
Yeah, just trying to bite off as much as you can, but it's still probably 500 plus feet to the green from here. So
exactly 505 to be exact.
Yeah, so players are not going to be able to save a par after going off OB off that tee shot. It is too tall of a task. So basically just playing for bogey from there.
Whew. Buzzing the trash bag on the green basket. That'll give him a look for birdie, though.
Yeah, it is. Some of these short baskets are like precariously in the way. Like we saw it on hole 4 also. It's just in the perfect spot in the landing zone. I would be surprised if there wasn't at least 1 or 2 people in this tournament that have found a kick off a short basket that they were not looking for.
Oh no, and unfortunately KiIl does find that deep OB as well. It's a tough hole for him.
Yeah, just gave it a little too much on that upshot. Maybe trying to give it
He gave it too many beans.
too many beans. Yeah.
Too much beans? I don't. We'll need to work on that.
A lot of
Overbeaned
beans.
it?
Many beans. Many beans were given. Overbeaned is good, yeah. That's an option as well. So he's left with this one, Circle's Edge, for I believe a double bogey save. Important putt to stop the bleeding.
Whew, sneaks it in, saves that double bogey.
Yeah, not the start to the round he was looking for. 3 over through 6, gonna have to turn this ship around. He's looking to get back into this thing. Cochran, another birdie putt. He's been kind of cooking to start this one. That's 4 in a row with the low right make.
Those are the ones that make your heart skip a little bit when you see it start to jump.
Yeah, you don't want that. The old spit out off the ring it never feels good. Lucas with a birdie putt as well. Opportunity to grow his lead with Wyatt putting for bogey, but just a bit off.
Yeah, things are getting interesting. He found himself with a 5-stroke lead off of Wyatt heading into hole number 7. Still have some hot rounds there from Andrew and both Andrews. Fish, Cochran,
yeah, exactly.
and Brad as well. All right, speaking of hole 7, it is a par 3, 365 feet. Many of these players have enough in them to just go big hyzer, safer for them, less to worry about. You can still take that straight shot though if you prefer. You just have more trees to get in your way.
Yeah, the key here is you just gotta make sure you give it enough height with that right to left slope. The disc is not going to want to work its way back to the left as much to get to the basket. So got to kind of stall the disc, get it to fade back at the end. This one from Lucas looks great. Oh, yeah.
Catches right there beyond the basket. I think he might have gone as high as he did far.
Yeah, that was a boomer. Wyatt, being a lefty backhand only player, going to have to go with that straight gap that you mentioned, Emily. Just burned up a bit short. We'll have a long putt.
Now we're definitely in the safari.
Yeah, we get the look at the full outfit now. Yeah, it comes up, catches one of those late trees coming up a bit short. Call this one a 60-footer.
I was just counting the animal prints on his shirt.
What'd you get? How many?
I think I was mesmerized. That's what I should have said. Great putt there from Wyatt. He said, harder lefty lane, no problem for me.
Yeah, you're mesmerized by KiIl's shirt. I'm mesmerized by Wyatt's putting because that was a really nice one from edge of circle 2, dropping it in.
The leopard snakeskin tiger print didn't distract him. And another great putt there from Andrew. Goodness. They're making light work of this basket.
Boys are showing up all of a sudden. 5 in a row now for Cochran. Trying to make himself a contender back into this thing. Good par save from Wads. Lucas going to have a short birdie putt coming up. Keep his lead at 5.
So if a turkey, duck, and chicken is a turducken,
what's a panther, tiger, and
a leopard,
lion or leopard? Yeah.
Laker, leopard, snake, and tiger. We'll call a Laker. Sure. Not as exciting though. Good birdie there from Lucas, not to distract.
Yeah. Call it a Kobe Bryant. Different kind of Laker.
Buckets. All right, heading into hole 8, it is a par 3, 290 feet. Once again, kind of similar. They're going to probably be taking this wide hyzer pushing route. Anything that lands over on the left side, it is safe, but it's kind of jail.
Yeah, you don't want to be in there. It's not going to be a fun time.
Don't do it.
You're going to walk out with scratches and ticks and...
0 out of 5 stars on Yelp.
Yeah, would not recommend. Nice shot from Cochran, a little wide, comes up a little short, but the way he's been putting, that's definitely in his wheelhouse. The little flick roller from Lucas in the wet grass is kind of a bold strategy, but it looks like it's working.
Bold will hold. That is great. Ends up just in that grass, but on the edge enough that he'll have a little uphill putt.
Wyatt opting for the high route to give him a little more airspace to work with. Comes
Honestly,
up a bit
probably
short.
a good twig that kept him out of the woods there. Because if with that height, she could have gone deep.
Yeah, especially height and the slope. It just there was not much to stop that disc from moving left the whole way. This is looking like an ace run from Wads. Buzzing the tower. Worth noting that all that tall grass is in bounds, just going to be slightly uncomfortable. That's Wyatt just a bit low there from circle 2.
Good dodging from Catch Cam Dave.
Yeah, just a little lift on that putt from Cochran. Now he's got a tester coming back for par, and this is the dangers of the elevated basket in the wind. It can happen quick. So another chance to grow the lead for Lucas from probably 28 feet or so, and that is a really nice putt.
Tiptoeing through the mud there.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but it rained all day Saturday, the first day of this tournament. So the course, lower parts of this course are going to be quite swampy. Might be some difficult footing. It's something to look out for when players are on any sort of slope. Birdie putt for KiIl coming up. Still looking for his first birdie of the round. And he's going to get it. That's a nice putt. Important putt here for Cochran. This is now for bogey.
Yeah, you could see in his body language, it got in his head, and he really couldn't commit to the height needed for that.
Yeah, he's been throwing the disc great, putting great, but just a hiccup there. Double bogey is going to be... That's a tough one.
Yeah. Especially heading over into this monstrosity. Hole number 9. It is a par 5, just under 900 feet. We have this OB staked tall grass. We have the OB courted and fenced area over there on the pool complex. We have some water down here at the end of the fairway that's OB. And then we have just natural OB there on the far left-hand side. That's lots of trees that are impossible to get out of.
Yeah, this is a what I like to call a forward progress hole. You just want to bite off as much as you can on every shot. Keep moving your way down the fairway, and you should be able to have some sort of look at the birdie as long as you're staying in bounds.
Yeah, and that gravel service path that you saw Lucas's disc land, that is a safe spot in the fairway.
Yeah, so without elite power, KiIl just going to play up to the top of that hill. Should give him an opportunity to go bigger on his second shot. Wyatt, plenty of power as well, so he's going to try to clear that out of bounds area on his tee shot, and does that with no problem.
Oof, a little bit of a slip there, it sounded like, from Andrew. But he does stay safe.
Yeah, going to be kind of awkward on that downslope. We'll see what kind of footing he's got there. But yeah, like you said, it's in bounds, so he'll be just fine.
Yeah, honestly, like you said, this hole is just forward progress, inbounds. Keep making moves. As we see a good shot there from KiIl, keeping him in play in the middle.
Yeah, just a position play from there. Cochran going to go roller. Plays well with this right to left slope as long as he can go with an understable enough disc to fight back at the end, and it does. That is a really well thrown shot.
Great execution there. The basket is just on the other side of that little peninsula.
Yeah, from here, I think Wyatt probably could go for the green, but it just doesn't shape very well for the lefty backhand shot, so he's most likely just going to play this layup into the side of the hill, which should leave him a very straightforward pitch over into the green. Lucas, on the other hand, can definitely go for this green if he wants to. But no, also just going to play it safe. Well, actually, not that safe. I don't know if he was trying to get that aggressive over by the that out of bounds area, but he's actually going to have a long putt now.
Yeah, I think he was trying to play it safer into the top of the hill. It just snuck over a little bit. So we see some unfortunate will be there.
Yeah, that OB is probably only 15 feet behind the basket, so it's easy to find. And that was just a unlucky roll that KiIl got, probably less than 2 inches out of bounds.
And there's that easy pitch up from Wyatt, like you mentioned. Whew.
And yeah, long look from Lucas, but just a bit right.
Stay safe. That's what's important.
Yeah, kind of a scary one to run. If you hit any metal, disc is most likely going to find that long out of bounds. So.
And apparently the sun's out again as KiIl knocks down that putt.
Yeah, good par save. Cochran from about 22 feet for his birdie. Knocks that one down. Nice bounce back. After the blemish on the last hole, still got a great round going. 4 down through 9 is still a great score.
But it is hard to keep up with this man right here.
Yeah, just chugging away, staying in bounds, giving himself looks, knocking down a tester here and there, and that's how you put yourself at 5 down through 9. We'll see if Lucas can keep it up. Looking at the leaderboard, he's got the hot round on the card for the moment, but we've seen a lot of big numbers and small numbers either way. Still a lot of score separation.
A lot of numbers.
Lots of numbers, yes. Taking a look at the rest of the top 10, Andrew Fish tying that hot round that Lucas has right now at 5 under par. A couple other players making some moves. Robert Velicki, also 5 down, worth a shout out. Still a lot of golf left though. Lucas has got himself a bit of a lead, but these players on our lead card are going to do their best to make it interesting for him. So make sure, hit that subscribe button, catch us on the back 9. We'll have the final 9 holes of this year's KiIl Disc Golf Championship for you.
Be there or be square.
You heard the girl. Go subscribe.
Do it.